Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. I'm Paul, and today we are going to talk about a very important topic for beginners.
Hello everyone, I'm Lena. We are very happy to see you again. Today's topic is perfect for those who want to start learning English from the very beginning.
Yes, many people feel confused when they start learning English because they don't know where to begin.
That's true. Some learners feel that English is difficult, but with the right steps, it can become easy and enjoyable.
So in this video, we will explain how to learn English from scratch step by step.
Yes, and we will keep everything simple so that beginners can follow easily. Let's begin.
Lena, what is the first step for someone who is starting from zero?
The first step is to learn basic English words. Without vocabulary, it is impossible to understand or speak any language.
So learners should focus on simple words first.
Yes, words like food, family, daily actions, and common objects are very important.
And how should they learn these words?
They should write them down, repeat them daily, and try to use them in simple sentences.
Lena, once a beginner learns some basic English words, they often feel confused about what to do next. Many people understand words, but they still hesitate to speak. What should be the next step?
That's a very common situation, Paul. After learning basic vocabulary, the next step is to start speaking using simple sentences. Many beginners make the mistake of waiting until they learn grammar perfectly, but that is not necessary.
So they should start speaking, even if their English is not perfect.
Exactly. The goal in the beginning is not perfection, but practice and confidence. Speaking simple sentences helps learners become comfortable with the language.
Can you give some examples of simple sentences beginners can use?
Of course, beginners can start with very basic sentences like, I am happy. I am learning English. I like coffee. I am going to work. These sentences are short and easy, but they help learners practice speaking.
That seems very simple and practical.
Yes, and learners can use these sentences in their daily life. For example, if someone is eating, they can say, I am eating food. If they are studying, they can say, I am studying English.
So they can describe their daily activities.
Exactly. This method helps learners connect English with real-life situations, which makes learning more natural and effective.
Many beginners feel shy while speaking. How can they overcome that?
They should start by speaking alone at home. They can talk to themselves, describe their surroundings, or even practice in front of a mirror.
That removes the fear of speaking in front of others.
Yes, and another important thing is to not be afraid of making mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning. Every mistake helps you improve.
That's a very important mindset.
Absolutely. Learners should focus on expressing their thoughts, not on being perfect. With regular practice, their sentences will automatically improve.
Now let's talk about listening. Many beginners say they cannot understand spoken English. Why is listening difficult for them?
Listening is difficult in the beginning because learners are not familiar with the sound, speed, and pronunciation of English. When people speak naturally, it can feel very fast.
So beginners feel lost while listening.
Yes, but the good news is that listening improves with regular practice. It is one of the most powerful ways to learn a language.
Why is listening so important?
Because listening helps learners understand how English is actually used in real conversations. It improves pronunciation, vocabulary, and speaking ability at the same time.
So listening and speaking are connected.
Exactly. When you listen regularly, your brain starts recognizing words and sentence patterns. This makes speaking easier.
So how should beginners practice listening at home?
They should start with simple and slow English content. For example, beginner-friendly videos, short conversations, or basic audio lessons.
Why should they start with simple content?
Because difficult content can confuse them and reduce motivation. Simple content helps them understand more and build confidence.
That makes sense.
Another important method is listen and repeat. After hearing a sentence, learners should pause and repeat it. This improves both listening and speaking.
So they should not just listen passively.
Exactly. Active listening is very important. Learners should focus on understanding and repeating what they hear.
How much time should they spend on listening?
Even 10 to 15 minutes daily is enough in the beginning. The key is consistency.
So small daily effort again plays a big role.
Absolutely. With regular listening practice, learners will slowly start understanding English more easily and feel more confident.
Lena, we've talked about speaking and listening, But what about reading? Many beginners ignore reading because they think it is less important. What do you think?
Reading is actually very important, especially for beginners. It helps learners understand how English sentences are formed and also introduces them to new vocabulary in a natural way.
So reading is not just about understanding words, but also about learning sentence structure.
Exactly. When learners read regularly, they start noticing how words are used together in sentences. This helps them improve both their grammar and their speaking skills without even realizing it.
That sounds like a very natural way to learn.
Yes, it is. Beginners should start with simple and easy reading materials. They don't need to read difficult books in the beginning.
What kind of content is best for beginners?
They can start with short stories, basic English books, or simple articles. Even small paragraphs are enough in the beginning.
Why is it important to start with simple content?
Because when learners understand what they read, they feel confident and motivated. If the content is too difficult, they may feel frustrated and lose interest.
That makes sense.
While reading, learners will see new words. They should note those words down and try to understand their meaning.
And then use those words later?
Yes, that's very important. Learners should try to make simple sentences using those new words. This helps them remember the words better.
That sounds like a very effective method.
Another helpful tip is to read aloud. When learners read aloud, they improve their pronunciation and speaking at the same time.
So reading also helps speaking.
Exactly. Reading aloud builds confidence and improves fluency.
How much time should beginners spend on reading?
Even 10-15 minutes daily is enough. The goal is to make reading a regular habit.
So consistency is the key again.
Yes, with regular reading, learners will slowly understand English better and feel more confident using it.
Lena, many learners can read and understand English, but they still struggle to speak. Why does this happen?
This happens because they don't practice speaking regularly. Speaking is a skill, and like any skill, it improves only with practice.
So just understanding English is not enough.
Exactly. Learners need to actively practice speaking. Without speaking practice, they may understand English, but they won't feel confident using it.
That's a very common problem.
Yes, and many beginners wait for the perfect moment to start speaking. But the truth is, the best time to start is right now, even with simple sentences.
So they should not wait for perfection.
Absolutely. Beginners can start by speaking about their daily life. For example, I wake up at 7. I am eating breakfast. I will study today.
These are very simple and easy to use.
Yes, and speaking about daily activities makes practice more natural and useful.
What if someone has no one to talk to?
That's not a problem. They can practice speaking alone. They can talk to themselves, describe what they see, or even think in English.
That sounds like a great way to practice anytime.
Yes, and another effective method is to practice in front of a mirror. This helps learners build confidence and improve their expressions.
That's very helpful.
Learners can also record their voice while speaking. When they listen to their recording, they can notice mistakes and improve.
So self-practice can be very powerful.
Absolutely. And the most important thing is to practice daily, even if it is just for 10-15 minutes.
So small daily practice leads to big improvement.
Exactly. With regular speaking practice, learners become more confident, fluent, and comfortable using English.
Lena, we have discussed vocabulary, speaking, listening, and reading. But many learners start learning with motivation and then stop after a few days. Why does this happen?
That happens because they don't have a proper routine. Without a routine, learning becomes irregular, and it is easy to lose focus and motivation.
So having a routine is very important.
Yes, absolutely. A simple and realistic daily routine helps learners stay consistent. And consistency is the most important factor when learning any language.
Many beginners think they need to study for many hours every day.
That's a common misunderstanding. You don't need to study for hours. Even 30 minutes a day is enough if you use that time properly.
That sounds much easier to manage.
Yes, and learners should divide their practice into small parts. For example, 10 minutes for vocabulary, 10 minutes for listening, 10 minutes for speaking.
That covers all important skills.
Exactly. This simple routine is easy to follow and does not feel overwhelming.
What if someone has very little time?
Even then, they can do small activities like learning a few words, listening to a short audio, or speaking a few sentences. The goal is to stay connected with English every day.
So consistency is more important than long study sessions.
Absolutely. When learners practice daily, they don't forget what they learn, and their confidence keeps growing.
That makes learning more effective.
Yes, and over time, this routine becomes a habit. Once English becomes part of your daily life, improvement happens naturally.
We have discussed all the important steps to learn English from scratch. Before we end, Lena, what final advice would you like to give to beginners?
I would like to say that learning English is a journey, and it takes time. Many beginners feel discouraged because they don't see quick results, but they should understand that improvement happens slowly.
That's very true.
Yes, and every small step matters. Every word you learn, every sentence you speak, and every minute you practice helps you move forward.
That's a very positive way to look at learning.
Also, don't be afraid of making mistakes. Mistakes are not a sign of failure. They are a sign that you are learning.
That's very motivating.
Yes, and learners should always focus on progress, not perfection. You don't need to speak perfect English. You just need to communicate clearly.
That takes a lot of pressure off beginners.
Exactly, and most importantly, believe in yourself. Confidence plays a very important role in learning any language.
So confidence plus practice earns success.
Absolutely. If you stay consistent, practice daily, and keep a positive mindset, you will definitely improve your English.
Thank you so much, Lena, for sharing these valuable tips.